A very warm welcome to all our viewers. You're watching the 8th edition of the Indian Hotelier Awards. We have with us Mr. Sudeep Jain with us. Sir, lovely having you here.
Thank you very much.
You know
Pleasure
what?
to be here.
Let's start the whole conversation by your key takeaways from this session. Shall we?
Listen, I think it's meeting the industry leaders and getting a mindset of what it is. India is on the cusp of breaking out of in this industry, and I think the future is very bright. So from my standpoint, I think hearing from my peers and other leaders about what their plans are, what their thoughts are about the future has been tremendous. And, you know, the Honorable Minister was just fantastic. It was a refreshing change to hear him speak about how important this sector is for the industry.
Industry leader. What would you say is the present state of the Indian hospitality sector? And what would you say are the key trends that will shape the next 5 years of this whole sector?
Sure. I think the key takeaway is, I've been here before in previous forums saying, version 5 or version 6 of it, saying that, hey, India is an inflection point where it's going to break away and, it's suddenly going to be the big growth rate, which we always anticipate. I think we are past that inflection point now, so it's no turning back. So from an industry standpoint, that's great. But I think partially, which is part of your second question, is the fundamentals are very strong. The economy is growing. It's one of the fastest growing economies. The increasing middle class, the increasing per capita income, the increase in infrastructure, number of airports, tourism instances, the outbound travel, all of that bode well for the industry. So, and in this industry, supply takes a while to come online compared to demand. So I think the next foreseeable future, demand will continue to outstrip supply, which means it's a great industry to be in from a trading standpoint, as well as from a standpoint of development. So I think we're looking forward to it.
All right. I have to ask you a question about next-gen technology. I must.
Sure.
So, how are hotels leveraging, next-generation technologies like AI and machine learning to their advantage?
So I think technology has to come in to bring in efficiency and to use smart thinking. And I think that's going to come in. We're already seeing that in our revenue management and our distribution networks and so on. You're seeing it coming into the operations as well in terms of energy savings metrics and so on. So I think the whole advent of everything going on the cloud and the amount of data available and analyzing it, I think we have no choice. It is going to come. It's going to make us more efficient. It's going to make us more competitive. And I think, the technology is, and I think in India, it's going to develop at a much quicker pace than elsewhere in the world. So we're going to leapfrog. You've seen that in the mobile industry. Our penetration is much higher. Our adoption of 5G is much higher. And I think the advent of machine learning, AI, other analytical tools, which are going to be available with technology is going to just penetrate this industry quite dramatically.
In the previous bite we had with Mr. Keswani, he mentioned that the government should increase their participation and their interaction with industry leaders in the hotel sector. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we're seeing that change a little bit already, but let's not forget two things, right? We are a capitalist economy, so, and there's a private sector. So, we have to still rely primarily on the private sector to do things. However, and the second thing to remember is tourism at the moment is a state subject. So it's not a national subject or a federal subject. And as a consequence, every state has to decide their own policies. But the engagement we're seeing from the government or the government bodies, be it Invest India, be it the Tourism Ministry, be it the Tourism Secretary, relative to what I've seen in the past, is already at a much higher pace and much greater pace. And I think I've also noticed that there's a lot more emphasis on listening, right? Please tell us what you would like us to do. I've been to, in the last 3 months, I've been to like 4 of such meetings where they want to hear from, not just hoteliers, but everyone from the industry, whether it be destination, the tour operators, the destination creators, and everybody involved to hear their thoughts and what they would like to change within the industry. So I think if we take that collaborative approach and we tell them straight up what we would want, I think apart from the fact that we keep harping on, we want industry strategy, yes, everyone's aware of that, but I think, things which are quick wins, things which we can make development, and also what needs to be worried about for the long term. For example, talent and skill development and internships and so on. I think the government has engaged significantly more than historically.
All right. So last question.
Sure.
BW Italia will complete a full 10 years this January. Your thoughts on its role, the role it has played in joining the voices of the industry captains and the people of this industry?
So I listen. I think it's critical in doing that and in encouraging the young Turks which come into this industry as well with their IHA, with the hotel awards. That gives a boost of enthusiasm and recognition to the whole industry. And I think I'm thankful for them to do that with a very transparent and a very objective methodology, which is great. Thanks to the team, Mr. Patra, Mr. Khanna, all of and the rest of the whole team, which has really done a great job in actually facilitating and being the voice of the industry and and creating the dissemination of information and knowledge throughout the industry. So keep up the good work. This is just 10 years. I think you've got many more to come.
So thank you so much. Lovely chatting with you.
Great.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.